Hello Astro community, my name is Ileana with Matriarch and in today's video we're going to be talking about the moon in a child's chart and what that represents. This is going to be part one of a two-part video. Now the moon represents what a child's needs are in order to feel an inner sense of security. The moon also represents the mother and the relationship to her or other predominant female figures in a child's life. Of course, this will be a very general description as I will not be going into planetary aspects or house placements. However, I will be going through that in future videos, so stay tuned for those. Okay, first we're going to start off with moon in Aries. So some key traits here are energetic, independent, impatient, and short-tempered. Now Aries is ruled by Mars, and Mars is the planet of aggression and quick action, and it also represents the first house, which is the physical appearance and certain personality traits. So these children will need to be independent, and they could come off as straightforward or outspoken, and they're not gonna like waiting on others. Now these children can be seen as impatient and highly active, especially if they're not allowed to move around and expel that physical energy through play or some type of sport. So these children are going to naturally reject authority or the rules. So they are going to need to be allowed to express their emotions if we are going to want to help them get past them. A good way to help with this would be to allow them a safe space to let all that energy out, let things boil through, a safe space to dance, move around, run out in the backyard if they need to. This is another way to help get all those emotions out in a safe way. And sometimes even just sitting with them and talking their feelings out with them will do just a trick. A good thing to teach them is that other children may be just as sensitive or even more sensitive than they are. And when they are in this angry state, they may end up saying things that they don't really mean. Because remember, Aries is ruled by Mars, so it's quick emotions, quick words that they end up regretting later. So it can end up to hurt feelings, and some children may not want to continue the relationship due to this sudden outburst of emotions and anger. In general, the art of patience is going to go a long way with these children, so it's something you're going to want to help instill in them early on. Next up, we have moon in Taurus. So some keywords here are lovable, calm, stubborn, and sensitive. So here we're going to see that Venusian flair because Taurus is ruled by Venus, and Venus is the planet of love and the senses. Venus rules the second house, and that's the house of my things and personal resources, and also the seventh house. So that's how they view others and who they view as competition, as well as analyzing themselves against others. These children are going to naturally want their mothers to embody the essence of, patience and stability, that Taurus energy. And, they're going to be very connected to her because the moon is exalted here in the sign of Taurus. So Taurus is a fixed sign, so it would be best to take things slowly when you are introducing new things, new environments. It's also best to let them know beforehand if you're going to move homes or if you're going to move things around the room, because they don't like sudden changes. In general, they're going to want to know what to expect in every situation. So that's why they just don't like things just suddenly changing. They like a heads up if possible, of course. These children are going to thrive off of natural contact with the world. So this is just allowing them space to be outside in nature, at the beach, to a river, just out in nature would be best for them in general. So similar to the moon in Libra, this child is going to find comfort in, a beautiful environment, a beautiful room, a nicely decorated home, and they will have a tendency to prefer some indulgence when it comes to food. Okay, next up we have moon in Gemini. So some keywords here with Gemini are witty, inquisitive, communicative, and they will have a need for mental stimulation. Now Gemini is ruled by the sign of Mercury, and Mercury is the ruler of the third house, the house of communication, writing, siblings, and early learning. So when we look at the moon in relation to feelings and sense of security in correlation with this mercurial energy, this is going to indicate a need to talk their feelings out with you. This is going to help them build a strong connection to you if they know that they're able to talk to you about anything. These children are going to always want to be on the move, both mentally and physically, and they may have a short attention span and get bored easily. They're also going to be known as a bit of a chatterbox, especially if they're feeling upset or worried. So a good way you can help with this is to take them on little adventures with you, even if it's to the store. It doesn't have to be like a big travel vacation. Any small little outing that you have planned, include them whenever you can, because this will help keep their busy minds occupied. They're also going to enjoy, mentally challenging games or puzzles, anything that'll stimulate their imagination. Another thing to keep in mind is that these children may not respond well to a strict, daily routine. So it's best to just keep things flexible as much as possible. Okay, so next up we have Moon in Cancer. So here we see a child that is sensitive, emotional, and sympathetic. So here the moon is at home in the sign of Cancer. Cancer rules the 4th house, and in childhood, the 4th house represents the parents, the home environment, what they need in order to feel safe. Also, a connection to the mother may be extra prominent with this moon placement. So since the moon is constantly changing, their moods may also be constantly changing. And, when they become upset, their first reaction, may be one of defense. And it may be hard to reason with them due to their intense emotional reactions. And it would be best to just wait for it to boil it over. I wouldn't want to try to engage with them or to communicate with them or reason with them when they're in that intense emotional state. So just best to just let that boil over, wait for them to be more calm, and when they are, then you can come to them and talk with them about their feelings and talk things out. These children are also very intuitive and sensitive, so you want to teach them to learn to trust and rely on their intuition. Also, when they become anxious or worried, they may tend to assume the worst, especially when it comes to family members or friends. A good way to support a child with the moon in Cancer would be to allow them a safe space to express their emotions, a safe space to cry it out, without any form or sense of shame or guilt for doing so. With this moon sign, we're going to want to show them that it's okay to cry it out. It's okay to cry and have these big emotions. By doing this, you're going to help them feel accepted and loved for who they are, which is the most important thing. Also, you will want to be aware of the full or new moon phases, because this will heighten their already sensitive, emotions, and they may become more moody or more sensitive during those times. So teaching them that their emotions are likely going to be heightened during those full or new moon phases, can help them learn to better regulate their emotions, so that they're able to understand themselves better and come to the fact that, this will pass as the moon progresses on from either full or new, that this isn't going to last long, and it'll help them, learn to regulate themselves during that period of time and to also expect it. Next up, we have Moon in Leo. So some keywords here are creative, playful, and flamboyant. So here, Leo is ruled by the sun, and that represents energy and vitality. And Leo rules the 5th house, the house of children and play and creativity. And it also represents what they like doing for fun and their creative abilities. Now, the first thing I'd like to mention about this placement is praise. So a Leo moon child will love, praise for their achievements, whether big achievements or small achievements. In order for these children to feel secure, you will want to encourage their creativity and show them that you care. So, be present and let them put on a show for you. These children are natural social butterflies and will want plenty of opportunities to interact and play with other children, and they will seek a sense of importance or special treatment from others. However, it will be important to instill in them a sense of self-worth first, so that they may become less dependent on the approval of others. These children have strong emotions, and they can quickly become offended, and they may be quite sensitive to any form of criticism. It's going to be best to provide them, positive criticism by wedging it between two compliments. You can explain that by making these changes, they become better people, and in return, they gain that admiration from others. You see, because when these children feel offended or challenged, they may tend to lean towards those, arrogant or stubborn behaviors. So we're going to want to teach them how to self-regulate and manage those big emotions, and to be aware of those tendencies to exaggerate things. When these children are older or in school, make sure that you sign them up for theater or plays or drama club. This will nurture their natural talent for dramatics in a positive way. Just make sure that you are front and center in the audience with a big applause. Okay guys, that's all I have for you in this video, but I will have the rest of the signs, moon in Virgo through Pisces, so stay tuned for that video. If you enjoyed this video, please hit like and subscribe to my channel, because I will be doing plenty of videos for parenting with astrology, and I will be going through much more of the planets, even the houses and the aspects as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.